So frequently asked questions. A good one to start with is, well, what is Squarespace? Squarespace is a platform, just as social media apps like Facebook or Instagram, they allow you to present and share content. Squarespace is a web platform, so it allows you to create, organize, lay out, and then share with a public content from a website. Other web platforms include WordPress, which is perhaps the most widely used, Wix, Webflow, and others. So no, web design in itself isn't too advanced. Perhaps at first you had to have a knowledge of servers, hosting, coding, so there was quite a steep learning curve. But these days, many of the items we design for digital use, they end up being shown on a website anyway. The difference between web design and designing, say, static pages on an app is often the software, the interface that you're using. So Squarespace, for all intents and purposes, it acts like an app, an interface. A platform is the technical term that you log into and you use to design and create your layouts. It can be as simple as that, but it has the ability to go a lot deeper and offer some advanced features if you need to take advantage of them. I would say these days, if you're a graphic designer, it's well worth branching out into web design. And Squarespace is a great place to start because it's not too advanced. You can use the principles you would use on static design and immediately translate them into creating beautiful websites. Most, if not all of your clients are going to need a website at some point, and they'll love it if, as their preferred designer, you're able to take care of this as well. So it doesn't take very long at all. I would say to become familiar with all of the options, all of the advanced features, well, that can take weeks of use. But to create something that's professional, that's fit for purpose, you could definitely aim to do that within a day, if not a few days. Squarespace actually market their platform as a tool that's so simple that individual business owners can use it and create something professional. Now that might be true if someone's simply swapping content in and not making any other changes, but I think to really get to grips with it and to understand best practice, it does take a little more investment of time than that. All of this said, my goal is that by the time you finish this short class, you will be in a position to create something that's professional. You will understand the essentials you need to create on the client's behalf, and you'll feel very familiar with Squarespace on the whole. So the results can look very professional indeed. In fact, if you looked at my portfolio, I think you'd struggle to tell which websites were created using which platform. I don't think it would be obvious which sites have been created using WordPress and which sites using Squarespace. That said, there are some advanced features that a platform like WordPress offers that Squarespace isn't really designed to cater to. So for example, if you had a client who was a real estate agent and you needed to create essentially a database that would list different properties and serve results, answer search queries, well then WordPress would be your platform. But for the large majority of businesses who want a website to really showcase their brand, to provide information, Squarespace is an excellent option. So there are a few limitations, and we'll go through some of those in the next lesson with our pros and cons. But one of the key differences is that WordPress is open source software, so it welcomes contributions by a larger community, and many people have created various plugins that you bolt onto WordPress and that enables you to solve specific problems in a bespoke way. Squarespace does allow you to add a few third-party modifications, but there's nowhere near as many as WordPress has to offer. If you have a look through the sample templates that Squarespace offers, you can generally tell quite quickly if it has the features you're looking for or if there's something more bespoke that it won't be able to cover. Squarespace does allow a very wide range of customization, but it doesn't allow you to customize beyond the features that are preset. So while WordPress is completely bespoke, you'd literally mock something up in Photoshop and then go away, build it and create it. Squarespace has predefined parameters and options which are heavily tested and work really well, which is great news for smaller businesses that don't have a budget for completely bespoke design. All in all, I would compare Squarespace to buying a suit off the shelf, but then having it tailored, customized to fit your needs, where WordPress, well, is the same as picking the individual fabrics and materials, coming up with a style from scratch, and having a suit completely tailor-made. So often the end result is very similar, but the process is worlds apart. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. In the next lesson, we'll look at some specific pros and cons to help you decide if this is for you.